Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2018 movie Mary Poppins Returns. The movie is directed by Rob Marshall and written by Dave McGee. And in this movie, Mary Poppins returns to the Banks family. Jane and Michael are now adults, and Michael has kids, and his wife has passed away. He's trying to find a way to save their house from being taken by the bank and everything. But Mary Poppins comes to help with the kids and everything. But this one is alright. I just saw it for the first time tonight. The first movie is one of my favorites of all time, so my expectations were kind of low on this, and I thought it was about as good as I expected it to be. I thought it was okay, just not a great movie. The cast was pretty decent though. Emily Blunt was pretty good as Mary Poppins. I thought she fit the role really well, a lot better than I expected because of how much I love Julie Andrews in the role. Lin-Manuel Miranda plays Jack, who is pretty much like the replacement for Bert, since Dick Van Dyke is so old and everything. And I thought he was alright. I kind of got on my nerves a little bit. He wasn't like one of my favorite characters and everything. Ben Whishaw plays Michael Banks, and I thought he did a decent job. I don't think he looked anything like the kid that played him in the first movie, but I thought he did a decent job playing him and everything. His acting was pretty good. And Emily Mortimer plays Jane. I think she did a pretty good job. I thought she looked enough like an older version of the character, and the original actress who played Jane has a cameo appearance in this, so I thought that was kind of cool. But Emily Mortimer does a decent job. Julie Walters plays Ellen, who is the maid of the house, the same character that was played by Hermione Badgley, or however you say her name, from the first movie, but instead she's played by Julie Walters, and she did a pretty good job as a character. Michael has 3 kids, a daughter and 2 sons. His daughter's name is Annabelle, and she's good. Nathaniel Sala plays John. They're like the 2 oldest ones, so they're the ones that act a little bit more responsibly and stuff. I think that both of them were pretty good in their roles. Joel Dawson plays Georgie, who's the youngest, and he kind of gets himself into trouble, a lot of times not meaning to, but he does a decent job, I guess. Colin Firth plays the villain of the movie, Mr. Wilkins, who is the nephew of Mr. Dawes Jr., and kind of runs the bank and stuff. He's alright. I didn't think he was terrible in this movie, but he was alright. Meryl Streep has a small role in this, kind of like Ed Wynn did in the first movie. She plays one of Mary Poppins' cousins named Topsy. I thought she was alright as a character. I didn't really care for her character too much. I mean, I thought she was okay. Her acting was fine, it's just I didn't really care too much for the character. And Dick Van Dyke plays Mr. Dawes Jr., which is just a small cameo at the end of the movie, which I was kind of disappointed about, because they actually advertised it to make it look like he was in the movie a lot more than he was and everything. But it was cool getting to see Dick Van Dyke, but I kind of wish he would have been in there a little bit more. And Angela Lansbury also has a cameo at the end of the movie, and they advertised to make it look like she was a huge part of this movie as well and everything. So, but she was good in the scenes that she was in. The score by Mark Shaman is alright. It wasn't as good as the score that the Sherman Brothers did in the first movie. I do like the Sherman brother that's left, it was a consultant on the music. Some of the songs were really, really good. And some of them are absolutely forgettable. The main ones that I really liked were The Cover Is Not a Book, which is pretty much like the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious of this movie. Mary Poppins sings it when when they're in the little animated world that's inside this bowl thing. I thought it was a pretty good song, and the Triple L Light Fantastic, or however you say that one, I thought that one was an alright song too. It was pretty much the Chim Chimney Cheree song that for this movie and everything. This movie feels like it's kind of a rehash of the first one in a lot of ways. Well, it's not exactly like it. There are a lot of similarities, a lot of the way things go. It was very predictable. I pretty much knew what was going to happen by the time the movie ended and everything. They played it really safe with this movie, and instead of trying to make it different enough from the original to work, they pretty much followed the same formula as the first one. And a lot of times that can work on sequels, but this is one of those that I don't think it really worked on very well. I think I did like that they did feature some of the other characters that were smaller parts in the first one, like the Colonel Boom or whatever his name is. I thought that was cool that he was in this, and everything. The guy who played him looks a lot like the original guy and everything, but I just thought this movie was alright. I don't think it was absolutely terrible or anything. It has some really great scenes. Like the animation in this is awesome. It was really nice getting to see some 2D animation in a Disney movie again and everything. It doesn't look as good as animation in the original to me, but it still looks really, really good for the most part. It has some pretty cool scenes, like the bath scene when they're going through this ocean-like thing. That's pretty cool too. Everything that was pretty much like the spoonful of sugar scene, except it was done differently. Like I said, this movie has a lot of parallels to the original one, where it's pretty much the same thing, just done differently. Kind of like the way people say that the Force Awakens does with A New Hope and everything. This one is pretty much the same way and everything. It's an okay movie. It's just not one of my most favorites. I don't know when I'd probably watch it again, or if I'd ever want to buy it, but if you're a Disney fan, it's worth checking out at least once. See it once, just so you can see you've seen it and everything. And Emily Blunt did do a good job as Mary Poppins. She did a lot better than I expected. But besides that, unless you're a Disney fan, I really don't know that I'd say I'd recommend it. If you're not a fan of the first Mary Poppins, I doubt you'd like this one. I'm a pretty big fan of the first one though, so I thought it was just mediocre and everything. So I'd give Mary Poppins Returns a 7 out of 10. It's an okay movie. It's watchable, but it does have a lot. Like I know the first one I said in my review does have some slow parts, but this movie drags really slowly. About an hour into this movie, it really starts dragging, and it never really picks back up and everything. To me, it just was really a slow movie and everything. So anyway, that's my review for Mary Poppins Returns. Let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. And I hope you enjoyed this review, and have a good day, everybody.